You're watching WPSD Local 6.
Whether it's plaque being scraped off a tooth or a drill grinding away at a cavity, the sounds at the dentist can make you cringe. And the tools they work with, they can be intimidating. But one local dentist is using these same instruments to create a different melody. The name on the outside of the building says Robert G. Fitch.
Ready to get this over with? Sure. Let's do it.
But everyone inside knows him as Dr. Robbie.
I know you don't like being here.
Bright lights, instruments clanking, and the dreaded shrill of the drill. But the noise at night takes on a different tone.
It's gonna be a rock machine.
First, he started playing them.
And then this one is an acoustic.
Now he's making them.
One thing you gotta do is
custom vintage-style guitars.
This is a new one I'm working on.
And this is the one that started it all.
This is number one, the first one.
That's Andy Gibson, professional musician and self-proclaimed vintage guitar nerd. He started playing on this a few years ago, following a visit with his dentist, Dr. Robbie.
He brings that guitar right there, pick it up, play it a little bit, and he's like, what do you think, what do you think? It's a really great guitar. I thought he bought it somewhere. Of course, I asked him, I said, well, where'd you get it? He said, well, I put it together. And that's kind of when it clicked in my head. I was like, this guy has a really good skill set for this.
He took it home, plugged it in, he said, man, these are great, you should be selling these.
Dr. Robbie quickly got to work, making the first 9 guitars in his basement in Murray, Kentucky. Like his guitars, this house is solid, built with 8-inch thick concrete walls. It's a story featured in this Best Of edition of Murray Main Street magazine. Construction began in 1931 during the Great Depression. This was the only home built in Murray that year.
I've lived in Murray my entire life, and I had no idea, but it's known as the Hearthstone House.
And in January 2018, Hearthstone Guitar Company was born.
There's people all over the world that are listening to Hearthstone guitars being played, they just don't know it yet.
Norway, The Tonight Show with Fallon, Ellen, Grand Ole Opry, the Ryman, the Troubadour, the Bowery Ballroom in New York, and then probably every casino across the country.
You know Tanya Tucker? Yeah, Gibson is her lead guitarist. And when he's on the road, he's playing Hearthstone.
It's comfy and cozy sounding. It feels and sounds like the guitar was built in 1950, which is a great thing. Handmade guitars, each one designed specifically for the person playing it.
He literally touches every piece. He solders it, he glues it, he paints it, he scuffs it.
And the logo? Justin Kimbrough helped create it.
He makes the most amazing guitars I've seen. And there's a lot of famous people using them too, which is really cool. When he's in his basement and he's in his element.
Your patients, do they know you do this?
They definitely know I'm obsessed with guitars. You've been to my office. Billy, your lip tingling?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different just guitar photos in here.
I do notice his guitars. I always look at them.
He probably just played them. I didn't know he made them.
I think it's really cool that, you know, that is a hobby.
You know, he's a great dentist. He's great at dentistry. And turns out he's great at building guitars. You know, they're works of art.
Not a whole lot in common between teeth and guitars. Just one's a hobby, one actually feeds a family. Is that hurting at all?
Surrounded by guitars and B.B. King on the radio. A visit to this dentist doesn't sound so bad.
You do something you really, really enjoy and don't lose money. You know, not a lot of people can say that their hobby is free.
Just makes you want to dance. Dr. Robbie tells me he typically makes 2 to 3 guitars a month. And last year was a big year for him, with the Hearthstone Guitar Company turning its first profit. Dr. Robbie ranking in about 60 cents an hour. Now, to be completely transparent, I shot this story back in March before COVID hit. Finally had some time this month to put it together and share it with you. And I checked back in with Dr. Robbie recently, and he says guitar making has helped him stay sane during a crazy time. And check this out. He even came up with a new guitar. This is the prototype. He calls it the Hearthstone Corona model.